3 days left to be in the body that I was born with, or at least the torso that I was born with. Things are starting to really hit. I was looking at my old videos of when I first got diagnosed, and I just kept thinking, man, this girl knows nothing. She's so optimistic. I still am optimistic, but I learned that chemotherapy, which I thought just meant losing hair, which I'm perfectly okay with. I learned that chemotherapy puts me into a chemically induced early menopause and it kills all my eggs. We were talking about either doing IVF, like egg freezing, or doing some kind of injection that does a, like, my brain mentally thinks that I'm going through a menopause, so it doesn't send the signals to my ovaries to release the egg every month. But just, I will have to choose between going into menopause right now, or do I want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for egg freezing? I have to pay out of pocket for that and for the freezing costs and extraction. But if I do that, that will delay any chemotherapy that I might need, because all the eggs need to be retrieved before I start chemo. So many decisions, and I barely have time to think about them. Having cancer while you're young is so different from having cancer as an older person. If I was like most breast cancer patients and I was already in my 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, when I got diagnosed, then I would have already had my kids. I would have already been done with fertility, and fertility loss wouldn't be an issue. Even though I'm not married, I'm nowhere near pregnant or about to have a baby. Just knowing that I will not be able to have a child naturally, and that all my ovaries and all my eggs will die, and that I will have to endure a chemically induced early menopause, that stuff is so heavy. It's something that older women don't have to think about. Then again, I'm blessed to not be going through this while I'm pregnant, and I don't have any babies to take care of. I get to just focus on me, because as a single person, I have no obligations to family, husband, whatnot. So I could just take care of myself, and that is an incredible blessing. But it does suck. Like, having cancer as a young person requires you to think about things that older people don't have to think about. So I'm just praying. Well, these days I'm so tired that I just like knock out the moment my head hits the pillow. But I guess I'm praying in the middle of the day. So my fervent prayer is that they will find 0 cancer in my lymph nodes, because that's the only way to assure that I will not have to go through chemo. I did say in a previous video that I'm okay with having thyroid cancer as long as I don't have to do chemo, but last week me should just shut up. Last week me doesn't know jack. I don't know how thyroid cancer is treated. Maybe I should look into it, but I also think to myself, Sonny, don't concern yourself with things that are not relevant to you in the moment. There's no need to stress myself out further about situations that are not 100% confirmed. So I don't know how thyroid cancer is treated. Maybe that will also affect my fertility as well. If yes, then of course I'll be sad again. Oh yeah, but speaking of thyroid, my fine needle aspiration biopsy was conducted on Friday. It is now Tuesday morning. Here's a little marking that came about from the needle aspiration. I'm so glad that I am now remembering to tell all the hospital staff that my body is highly tolerant to local anesthesia, because now they make sure to put a lot in me before they do any kind of procedure. It really helps. The procedure itself wasn't that bad. It's always the actual administering of the local anesthesia that burns the most and hurts the most, but after that everything's fine. I was watching the doctor like dig away at my cyst or tumor or whatever it is. I did let the hospital staff know that I was going to go snowboarding immediately after the procedure was done, and thankfully they were okay with it. They said it will not affect me at all. It did affect my ability to turn my head fully, so I had to be careful when I was looking behind me, trying to make sure that I wasn't cutting anybody off or that no one was coming at me irresponsibly. I also found that I had to hold my head while I was leaning back to get onto my pillow, because there's neck strain right here. But the bruising seems to have significantly gone down. This was very red in the beginning, so when my friend saw it, he was like, whoa, that's a lot gnarlier than I thought. The thyroid biopsy not bad at all, and I was able to resume life normally. I'm packing my hospital bag and I got this travel bidet so I don't have to reach back and wipe my butthole with my torn off chest. Hopefully this will come in handy. I'm pretty sure it will. I keep thinking to myself, man, I only have 3 days left in this body that I was born with. Like, I need to enjoy it or appreciate it more. But what am I gonna do? Like, show it to people? I've never been that type of person. My parents seem to be having a particularly tough week knowing what's gonna happen to me on Friday. I can't let them know that I also have the same concerns because I don't want them to be even more sad. I know that people will say, well, who cares about, losing your fertility and who cares about this stuff? You're gonna live, you're gonna be alive. Like, yeah, I know. The thing is, unlike you, I already knew that I was gonna be alive at the end of this. Probably, or call me conceited or call me whatever. Maybe this is another example of me being ignorant, but I never once doubted that I was gonna come out of this alive. The problem is, you already had your kids. You already did everything you wanted to do. I didn't. So, to have that potentially end for me without me having any say-so in it, just different. It's just a lot more things to consider when you are diagnosed younger.